Okay. I'm gonna be a dad. What? So about a month ago, I found out that my wife was pregnant. Now, we actually weren't trying to get pregnant, but we weren't not trying to get pregnant. So right now where we are in life, we're entrepreneurs and we live our life as a true entrepreneur, working crazy hours of the day, traveling a lot. We actually found out we were pregnant while we were in California doing a presentation or before a presentation. My wife is feeling terrible, throwing up a lot of heartburn, which I didn't think was anything special because she has a lot of heartburn. She has a lot of nausea on planes and cars, motion sickness. That's kind of typical. That's regular for us. And I'm thinking like, oh, this is nothing new. We just, in another state. We caught a couple flights. It's nothing new. This is something regular. But she decided, why don't I just take a pregnancy test? And I'm like, all right, if you want to do that, you want to waste some money on a pregnancy test, I guess that's on you. But it came back as the two lines, the two little lines on there, came back two little lines on there. So I'm like, what does that mean? What does that mean? I guess it meant she was pregnant. I'm like, come on now, you bought this from like Walgreens. The Walgreens pregnancy test. It could be anything, I don't mean anything. You're not pregnant. And then I looked it up, and then the internet, you got to do your Googles. You can't trust nothing unless you do your Googles, unless it tells you you're dying. Don't believe Google if it says you're dying. But other than that, I Googled it, and it said that the pregnancy test from Walgreens, CVS, they're like 90-95% accurate. And I'm like, okay, then that 5%, that 10%, that's the difference. That's what we working with. That's probably, the margin of error. That's where we are. It's clearly wrong. We can't be pregnant. It just can't happen. I think I was such in denial because first, I never saw myself as a dad. I didn't think I was worthy of being a dad. I didn't think I was deserving of being a dad for whatever reason. And I always live my life trying to, the lessons I teach myself and I always think like, I'm gonna teach my son to do this one day. I'm gonna teach my daughter to do this one day. And I go through that process as I, wake up early, try to be disciplined, try to take care of my business, do what I have to do. Always try to think of a legacy, trying to pass things down to my kid. What are the things that I learned? Okay, we went to the doctor, it was confirmed, even got a little ultrasound and seen a little baby on there. And I was around 7 or 8 weeks where we saw that. And I'm like, this is real. There's a human growing inside of my wife. This is real. So I had to take a deep breath. I had to do a lot of prayer. I had to figure this out. Like, what am I doing in life? Am I even making enough money? Am I spiritually sound with God? Am I in a healthy space mentally to raise a human being? How am I preparing to be a dad? Like, what have I been doing? So immediately, first thing I did, and one thing that I would encourage all fathers to do, is immediately relieve the burden of stress off of your partner. I mean, it was so many things that seemed to be out of my control at this time. I'm not carrying a human being inside of me. I don't know what I could do. I don't feel that pain. I don't feel that nausea. I don't feel anything. Well, she do got me eating unhealthy. That's her fault. I'm gonna blame her. She got me eating unhealthy ice cream, cookies, whatever. That is her. I will blame her for that. Outside of that, I can't feel any of the symptoms of pregnancy other than weight gain, but not because of a human growing inside of me, like I said. But what can I do to support my partner? So first things first, I try to lift the burden off of her shoulders. That's immediate. That's what I try to do immediately. As soon as I found out that she was pregnant, getting the house together, making sure she don't have to do no chores. She don't got to do no cooking. And what was hard for us is that we're also business partners. We do the business pretty much 50-50. Some weeks are more on the load of one person opposed to the other. But when it comes to business, she couldn't do anything. She's pretty much bedbound. And in our situation, she was vomiting pretty much every single thing that she put in her mouth. It could be water, juice, any food at all. It was coming right back up. And we were lucky if any meal didn't come up. And I was like around the 3-week span, I would say 2.5, 3-week span where it was just almost every single thing coming up. And I was worried that, man, we need to rush to the hospital or figure something out. We buying Vernors, we buying Sprite, we buying crackers, everything we can do. But I'm extremely worried because every single thing was coming up. And I'm like, I feel so useless at this moment. Like, I can't help her at all. I could literally just rub her back, pull her hair back while she's throwing up. And I'm like, man, what do I do as a husband? What do I do as a man in this situation? Literally, as soon as we got home from California, every single presentation, every single call, because, that's part of our business, speaking, traveling around, doing sometimes virtual workshops and things like that, sales pitches, marketing, all that stuff that we do. I literally took on pretty much, I would say, 85 to 90% of the business. One of the things that my mentor told me a while ago, before we even knew we were pregnant, maybe he had some type of revelation from God that told him that we were pregnant. And he told me, like, listen, your role with your wife, your business partners and married right now, but more importantly, your husband and wife. Your role as a husband, you're going to have to take on the larger part of the business is going to be on your shoulders. And especially when she becomes pregnant and she becomes vulnerable in these type of positions, it's going to be a lot more weight on your shoulders. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's still going to be 50-50. I was wrong. 1,000% wrong. Of course, women are strong, powerful, a bunch of amazing women out there who are very career driven, and which is amazing. I praise it, I love it, and I appreciate it. If you do have a baby, know that there are limitations within your career that may come in place, and rightfully so, because something that a man can never do, we cannot grow a human being inside of us. That's something that no man can do on this earth. And I had to figure out that I have to realize that my partner is doing this right now, and have to support them by any means, help them by any means. So men who are in this position of becoming new dads, you're already a dad before the birth of the baby. You are already a dad. So here are a few things that I've learned already that I would advise you to do. Be there for your partner mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Pray for your partner every single morning. Every single day that I wake up, I'm praying for that baby. I'm praying for my wife. I'm trying to figure this out. It's just necessary that you equip yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually for a time like this, because especially for those who've never experienced this, even if you have, just make sure you're refining yourself, that you're building your foundation, you're building your blueprint, because the things that follow this, I already know is not going to be easy. Second thing I would say for men who are becoming new fathers in this situation is to surround yourself with other men who are amazing fathers. This could be mentors, pastors, even a counselor. Surround yourself with amazing men who are great fathers, who have been through this experience, who can support you mentally, who can contribute to you emotionally, spiritually, and in other ways, and trying to just contribute to you overall. You should never try to do this alone. You need to be surrounded by great men of God, who can contribute to you, speak words of affirmation into you. Because when it comes to your family, when it comes to your wife during this time as she carried this baby, it's going to be so much weight put on your shoulders. You're going to be tested. There could be conflicts. There could be so much going on. But you need to be prepared and as much as you can. And your support system, the men who are backing you and supporting you are going to give you the strength that you need to be there for your partner, to be there for your wife, and eventually be there for your baby. Lastly, continue to build your relationship with God. I mean, every single morning, I'm at it praying, I'm at it with my discipline. And combined with your relationship with God is to build your discipline. Build the habits that you want to pass down to your children right now. When they come into this world, you can't build new habits, because their world is going to be flipped upside down, I'm sure. And I'm not speaking from experience, because I don't have children here on this earth right now. But my plan right now is to try to build the habits, to discipline, and everything that I can to bring a child into this world. So I'm already practicing the things I want for them when they come into this world. I'm already modeling the things that I want for them when they come into this world. Already trying to build a legacy and a healthy foundation for them when they come into this world. That's really important, because you could tell them whatever you want, but they're watching you, and most people are visual learners who are going to see you and then do that. And then when I get lazy, when I try to procrastinate, when I'm scrolling through Instagram mindlessly, I'm avoiding work and don't want to do the work, immediately what comes to mind is my legacy. What am I modeling for my kids? What do I want my kids to do while they're here on earth? And that's not to say that, your self-care isn't important. Sometimes your self-care could be just doing nothing. And I think that's the thing that's neglected with a lot of men, that, taking care of yourself, your self-care is something that is frowned upon. You need to work 24/7. Keep in mind that you're modeling self-care for your child, that the things that you're practicing with self-care, loving yourself, going for walks, going to the gym, reading books, meditating, prayer, whatever it is, you're modeling those things for your kids so they can do that one day as well. Those are about 3 or 4 things that I have in mind for new fathers, and I want to continue to talk to you, have this conversation as I continue to learn through my journey and live my life as an example of what ways that you can learn throughout your journey. So your partner needs you more than ever, and you need God and a support system more than ever. So if you're a new father, and when I say new father, I mean your wife or whoever you're with is currently pregnant, reach out to as many people as you can to get advice and try to learn, because we don't know it all. The only person who ever knew it all was Jesus, and we need Jesus. So rely on him more than ever. Rely on your support system, because this is going to be a journey and one to remember. So follow me along my journey. I'm learning. Like I said, we just went to the doctor, saw the little human, and we preparing for another ultrasound in the upcoming weeks. Right now, as I'm recording this, my wife is 12 weeks. That's 3 months, and that's 1/3 through the pregnancy. I tell her every day, you 12 weeks of one day, you 12 weeks in 2 days, you 12 weeks, 3 days, 2 hours, 3 minutes, and 42 seconds. I don't do that, but I tell her every day just to mark her progress, just to appreciate her and show her how well she's doing in life, and just see how I can help and contribute. So I need y'all's support along this journey. So keep up with us, follow me, subscribe, whatever you got to do. Check out me on Instagram, Facebook, check in, just stay connected and see how we can learn from each other.